Ayan, good afternoon everyone. This is Coach
Hello,
Bill
hello.
again, a certified life coach from the Global Institute for Coaches and Entrepreneur. Welcome to Men Connect Who of the Hour episode for the Gentleman League. We're doing this video series as a service to our community during this time of physical isolation due to COVID-19. And with me, si Coach Anna.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Coach Anna Lopera. I'm from Tacloban City, and I'm a certified life agent, a life coach, a change agent by the Global Institute for Coaches and Entrepreneurs. This Men Connect 2 of the Hour is our initiative to connect with men in our society. By doing this, we want to know how men are responding,
Yes.
what their situation is right now in this pandemic, how they are responding. Hello, who's that?
That's my wife. That's my wife.
Oh, hello, hello. Martin ka. Oh, you are our guest now. So you are, with these realities and how you have responded, what outcomes are you experiencing right now because of this? So that's the Men
Ayan.
Connect who of the hour this evening.
Yes, so before anything else, before tayo mag-proceed, for the information of many, Global Institute for Coaches and Entrepreneurs is based in Dallas, Texas, USA with local presence through our 24/7 coaching hub at DCAP Coffee Republic in PC Compound, Capitolio, Pasig City. So we offer coaching on-demand services any time of the day. Excuse me po, just connect to 0917-586-1661 or visit our Facebook page, Life Coach Philippines. We also provide life coach certification classes for those interested to become professional life coach like us. So, Coach Ana, sino po ang next nating interviewin? Ayan. Ayan. So, habang hinihintay natin si Coach Ana, well, ay kukunin ko na yung privilege to welcome yung next na interview natin, si Sir Mark Santos, the Who of the Hour Men Connect ngayon. So, Sir Mark Santos, so kindly introduce yourself to our audience.
Yeah, hi, Coach Bill. I think
Ay,
Coach Anna is having some technical problems.
yeah.
It's
Okay
very
po.
common. Yeah, hi. My name is Mark. I am from Tacloban City,
Yep.
and I'm currently working with the private sector. But
Mm-hmm,
here in Tacloban City, I'm more connected. I am more known for being with the broadcast sector. I formerly worked with the Radio Mindanao Network as a DJ and uh, uh, on-air personality, program
yeah.
director as well.
Yeah.
Then 22 years ako sa Philippine Science High School.
Wow,
Um,
okay.
that's right. I retired 2 years ago. And after I retired, I put up my own businesses, and currently I'm running. Uh, um, I have a few investments, and I am currently managing a company based in Ormoc City with
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
72 stores and a total of 450 to 50 employees.
Wow, wow. Ayan, nandito na ata si Coach Ana. Hello, Coach Ana, can you hear us
I'm
po?
here. Sorry,
Ayan,
sorry. I
okay
could
na
not
yan.
hear anything. I had to restart again.
Ayan, ayan,
Okay, so
nagpakilala
nag-introduce
na.
na si
Yes, Sir
Yan.
Mark.
Yan, oo. He's a good friend of ours, and
Mm-hmm.
he's a manager. He's an operations manager right now, as he mentioned, I think. And before actually he went into business and corporate work, he was connected with the academy,
After
and
20 years? Sorry, 20
oo,
years po ba?
22,
teacher siya eh.
22
22
Mm,
years.
sa,
oo.
sa Philippine Science. Yeah, wow,
That's
ganda.
correct. Eastern Visayas campus.
Mhm.
Oo.
Nice.
At saka Coach Bill, kung napansin mo naman, he has this very well-modulated and good voice, di ba?
Actually,
Kasi,
yun yun, parang sa DJ rin eh.
sumong
Sabi
ka
ni
nun,
DJ, galing ah.
DJ siya eh.
Yeah,
Kaibigan
yeah.
niya
Yeah.
kanina, si Jerby,
We
Yes.
yung
were on the
na-interview
same
ni
team,
Coach
kami ni
Fire.
Jerby
Yeah.
Santo.
Oh,
They're friends. They were in the
nice.
same
Actually,
station.
yung kay Sir Jervy rin sa akin lang, ano lang yung internet connection rin niya. So, I think we're going to reschedule kay Sir Jervy pa. Wow! Alam mo yung bigla akong Sir Mark, pwedeng pasample.
Go
No,
Mark, go eh.
that was
Open
another
skills mo eh.
that
Come
was another
on.
lifetime.
Okay. Okay, okay. Okay.
But it's still there. It's still there.
Yes, yes, hindi siya maaalis. Ano yung different boses? Okay,
It needs dapat yeah, it needs some dusting off. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, Sir Mark, uh, diretsuhin ko na COVID-19, the lockdown, the quarantine experience. So like, can you tell us, or kindly describe po, how do you see your situation right now?
um well, just like everybody else, no, I would say it's stressful,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
it's scary. But important. I think uncertain. Yan ang pinaka-importante in the term. Is. Pero hopeful
Uncertain.
naman. Yeah, the uncertainty is really in the air, but hopeful.
Yes, yes.
Um, well, we don't really have a choice, but be hopeful.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Diba?
mm-hmm.
Especially for me, like for example, um I have a family, and you just saw my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, may sinulat siyang note. So obviously, ang mangyayari nito, I have to run. I have to run after this. So there's a note that she sent.
Thank you, Twinkle. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nakapila na. So after the interview, then you're going to do something.
Oh, that is correct. That's correct. That's correct. Pero
Yeah.
the situation is we try to maintain a sense of normalcy considering the situation, diba?
Yeah.
I think I need to kasi like what I said, this is what we're having right now. This could end up anywhere on the internet, di ba? But I'd
Mm-hmm.
like to start off by saying that you look around me, di ba? I'm talking on a laptop. Obviously, if you try to take a look around, it's I have a bicycle, I have some comforts here, and
Yes.
uh, and although we're trying to maintain a sense of normalcy, I cannot help but think about all the other dads who are suffering right now,
Yes.
the other tatais,
Yeah.
who are going through this right now in a different set of mindset, a different perspective.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the present situation is actually we're trying to develop a new daily routine, di ba? So
Yes.
tayong mga tao, we're creatures of habit eh.
Creatures
So
of habit. Yes.
that's correct. That's correct. Pag nagkaroon ng uncertainty, mortal enemy natin ang uncertainty eh. And oftentimes we're actually hardwired to overestimate threats.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why that's why stress tayo eh. Kasi
Mm.
overestimate, when we are uncertain, kung alam natin na bukas may mangyayari, we surrender to that fact eh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Powerful.
Yung stress becomes manageable. Even death. If we're aware that we're going to die tomorrow, between now and that happening, magsusurrender
Uh-huh.
tayo eh. The
Mm-hmm.
stress
Mm-hmm.
level will go down. But for this situation right now, as you go along, di ba, we have two, 2,311 confirmed cases in the Philippines, di
Oh,
ba?
okay.
And every day, tumataas because, of course, of the absence of, testing kits, rapid tests, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, yun ang nakaka-create ng uncertainty. So,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
what I said, I have my wife here, a son, I have two daughters, and I have two houses. And the house helps are from Northern Samar. Nakakaawa because even if they're not saying it, I know they want to go home, be with their family,
But they
but they're
cannot.
trapped here. Oh, they can't, and I'm very thankful to them for being here. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I cannot help but feel sorry for
Feel
them.
sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct. The least I can do is make things as comfortable as possible for them. Treat them
Yep.
really as
Yep.
family, because I think that this is what it's all about. Everybody becomes
Mm.
family.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mark, you mentioned earlier about the sense of normalcy. So, can you describe it to us? Like, what is right now with this quarantine here in our city? What would be a normal day now for you and the
Well,
kids?
Well, first and foremost, it has to start from me. I set the pace. As dads, we need to set the pace. I remember during Yolanda, while the typhoon was hammering the city, I was so scared. But as dads, we cannot afford to to let our guards down and see, and our family see that we're actually the first ones to be scared. It's the same right now, only on a different level, I would say. So we cannot afford every day. As dads, we have to manage. First and foremost, you cannot manage the situation without managing ourselves first.
Yes.
Yung una natin i-manage yung sarili natin. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm trying to do. You
Yeah.
know, again, this is from my perspective. I am not saying, I know we're on the internet, and you know how it is.
Yes.
People might misconstrue, might say, oh, okay ka lang, yung bike mo sa likod, siguro mahal yan eh, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I understand. I understand.
It's yours.
And I'm,
It's yours.
Yes, that's
what,
at saka,
Yeah,
exactly.
we have
Mark, it's
different
men connect.
perspectives.
Who of the R? This is your
Yeah,
R. I mean, like, this is yours.
this
I
is
mean, yeah, go.
your
Yeah,
Okay, go
yeah.
ahead.
But
it's your
but but like
time.
I would like to reiterate that my heart goes out to all of those dads who are suffering out there. Those dads na hindi nakapag-lunch dahil iniisip nila kung saan nila kukunin yung 1 kilong bigas na papakain nila tonight. No, no, I wish, I hope I can do something about it in my own little way. I'm trying. Okay. So going back to your question, how do we maintain the sense of normalcy? Well, my kids are busy with their homeworks. So they have their homeworks. I don't push
Do
them.
they have tasks in the house? Do you give them tasks in the house? Is it part of?
Well, I try to. I try to. They're like fixing their bed, fixing their room, taking care of the dog,
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot. So, but primarily, we let them do their homeworks at their own pace.
Yes.
Um, my wife cooks more often right now. I just found out she's a good cook. I mean, she cooks, but
Because of
uh,
this quarantine.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
Diba?
Yes, yes. Actually, yeah,
Discovery.
yung next natatanungin ko, like, correct me if I'm wrong, ngayon lang ulit talaga, like, mag-i-stay sa bahay, like 24/7 sa bahay lang. And actually, yung next na tanong ko is, ano yung mga discovery mo sa mga kasama mo sa bahay mo right now? Yun, eh. Like Kedol, sabi mo, isa sa mga discovery mo, magaling pala magluto si wife. So like, what else, Sir Mark? Ano pa yung nakita mong bago? Like, na-discover mo na meron sa relationship mo and with all, along with the people nandiyan sa ano.
well, I am based in Ormoc kasi, so five days a week I'm in Ormoc. Ormoc is 2 hours away from Tacloban City, so
Okay.
I work there. So I'm only here during the weekends,
Mm-hmm.
and I just realized right now, I kiss my daughters more often. I've had lengthy talks with my son who's 18 years old already. He's an adult already. So
Mm-hmm.
we have more discussions,
Mm-hmm.
and um, so ang nangyayari is more talk, more time. Of course, I try not to hammer them with all the details about the current situation. So
Yeah.
pinipili ko
Yeah.
yung mga details. I cannot stress them. Sometimes minsan iniisip natin they have to share the stress eh. But we have to keep it as manageable as
Manageable.
possible. That's correct.
Yeah.
It's
Sabi ko nga kanina
actually
yung wife ko, I found out, sabi ko, nag-uusap kami, sabi ko, may pwesto tayo sa harap eh. Hindi kaya pwede pag everything goes to normal, mag-resto tayo.
Yeah,
Like,
wow.
di ba? We,
pwede.
we, we we talk about that right now. Eh, so that's how we do our,
Future, ano,
yeah,
future
that's
career
mhm.
with people.
I try
Yeah.
to monitor. I try to monitor my work from here kasi nasa
Mm-hmm.
Ormoc sila. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what we do. And like what I said, I have a delivery. I have a delivery after this conversation. So we're operating that small store.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's business is really down right now, but we're opening. It's not really generating profit. It's practically for the money that comes in, the little money that comes in is just for maintaining the salary of the employees.
At least you have
So
employees. Yeah.
that's correct. That's correct.
Yes.
Yeah,
They still
and
have
and,
work.
and thank you for Netflix.
Well, yeah, advertise siya. Thank you for Netflix daw. According kay Sir Mark.
Right, right, right.
Coach
Yeah,
Ana?
advertise.
Go.
Yeah. Um, what would you, what would you say, Mark, about you were mentioning earlier about that not hammering your kids about what's happening. I was about to say that I read it and I think it really works. That it's part of taking care of the mental health, not just ours as parents, but even the kids. That uh, to make sure that especially younger ones, those who are not able to understand what's really going on, how do we present this? Kasi si Mark, Coach Bill, he
Yep.
has an adult, he is a teenager, and he has, the youngest is how old, Mark? Si Andrea.
She's no Nina. Nina is
Nina.
turning 8 this
She's eight.
April
So,
14.
talagang may child, and then a teener, and a young, someone who just
Ano?
turned into an adult. So,
Yung 18.
how do you manage it about what's happening? How do you explain it to them?
Well, that's the thing. They don't really need explaining. Kasi ano sila eh, yung age nila is you have 18, Kuya, but Kuya is actually not 18, he's 26. So his chronological age is 18, but his mental age is, I would say, 25, 26. That's how advanced Jude is. So you have
Mhm.
18, then you have 14, then I have, that's 18 for Kuya, and 14 for Andrea, and 8 for Nina. So I don't really need to explain to them what is actually happening, except for when they have questions. Because, like what
Yes.
they said, it's my way of managing. It's my way of managing the situation. There's a catastrophe happening outside as we speak, and people are suffering. And most of the time, they have their own cell phones, except for Nina. Andrea is on her cell phone, chatting with her friends constantly. And I can only imagine the kind of things that they're chatting. And I'm quite sure this catastrophe right now is a part of that conversation. I try not to underestimate their capacity to understand this kind of things.
Mhm.
So, they have questions, and like what I said, before we can tackle the issue outside, we have to manage ourselves. And for me, um, I need to manage it for me, otherwise I'd go insane. So you're thinking, as a dad, you're thinking about the businesses, the possibility of not having a job next month. You're thinking about amortizations for the car. You're thinking
Yes.
about how to pay for the rentals for the businesses that you opened up. You're thinking
Mhm.
about the people who are under you. How do you manage that so that they will have consistently have food on their table? So these are 1,001 things that you have. So they're jam packed, and you have to manage that. You have to be able to rationalize. And I think that's the best thing about us being humans. We're not creatures. We may be creatures of habit, but we are not instinctive creatures really. If we can just slow down a little, and filter and analyze and say, hey, I don't need to make this decision immediately.
Mhm.
I don't have to scare the kids, di ba? So dahan-dahan lang. It's time is what we have right now, being here at home.
Yeah.
So we can think, we can do research. At least for us, who has the means. So one day at a time. The situation obviously is volatile. It is developing. You open up the news tomorrow. There's another research finding, whatever. But like everybody else, we worry a lot. Food security, job security. How long will this drag on? How long will the savings last? Diba? Is there really going to be a food shortage? To
Mhm.
what
Mhm.
extent do we trust the government? How are things going to be after this catastrophe? And of course, let's not forget getting sick. That's another genuine concern.
Yeah.
So I
There's
think
another.
I think a part of managing is to be, it is important that we accept the feeling of being afraid, of being vulnerable.
Ganda. Oo. Yeah.
Acceptance is key. Acceptance is key.
Acceptance is key. Yeah.
Yeah, following science. Because
Mhm.
if you try to take a look, if you try to take a look, if may mga alam tayo eh. We're saying we're fighting an invisible enemy. Pero
Mhm.
alam natin, may mga depensa tayo eh. Physical distancing is one. It has
Mhm.
been found out, di ba, na pag nag-mask tayong lahat,
To help
there's a
flatten.
there's a 70% prevent yung virus pag nag-mask tayong lahat eh. Di ba? So, again, uh, being afraid of
Yeah.
like for me, for example, last March 17, nalaman ko March 17, yung mga lockdown and all, March, kick into it. Excuse me. Yung reaction ko, I could barely eat and sleep. Eh. I could barely eat and sleep. I was so scared because of the anxiety. But I have learned. I think number one, we have to we need to learn to count our blessings. Diba? Ang dami-dami sa atin nagrereklamo. Yeah, last night, nakahiga kami ng wife ko and my yung si Nina. And lighter side of the conversation, she was saying, April na ngayon, sana nasa ano na tayo, nasa vacation na tayo ngayon.
Yeah.
Diba?
Summertime now.
Summertime na eh. Sabi ko, you know what, we can't complain. Diba? We cannot complain kasi ang ganda ng bed natin. Diba?
Oh.
Nandito yung kid natin, si Nina sa gitna, no? We're comfortable, we can sleep well. Diba? So this is, we're lucky. And we have to count this. We have to celebrate this.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sir Mark, like, ayan, may tanong, may magbasa mo tayong comments. So, from Coach Ed, what is that one word you want to say to our listeners who may be experiencing your situation right now? And please expound po why it is that one word you want to share. From Coach Ed.
Cooperation. I would say it's cooperation.
Wow.
Diba? Kasi we don't have a choice eh. We do not have a choice. Either we cooperate or we all, diba, we all suffer. And ultimately, worse than that. Diba?
Yeah.
Para sa akin, kasi pag may cooperation, pag nakikita, ito nangyayari ngayon sa ano eh. This is what's happening, diba? Namamagnetize tayo sa news. We wake up in
Yes.
the morning, we hate the news, but it's like an addiction now eh. Di ba?
You have to
It's
check.
not an addiction. You have to check. You hate looking at CNN, you hate looking at Inquirer.net, you hate looking at Yahoo, but it becomes a routine eh.
But
Without
you
you knowing
open
it.
it.
Oh, plus worse, you have Facebook, of course.
Yes.
Di ba?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what is there to do? Di ba? What is there to do? It's a part of it. Kasi it's a ang nangyayari ngayon, I know I have a choice. I can shut myself out, but it's also important that you know what's happening eh. Diba? But if people can just, this is a shout in the wilderness. Sabi ko nga, cooperation with all the politics going on and what, diba? But at some point, pag nag-cooperate tayo, that would generate hope.
Wow.
That would generate hope. And hope right now is something that we really, really need. It's a rare commodity right now.
Yes.
People
Yes.
are scared. People are anxious. People practical. We don't really know. The only time that this will end is when a vaccine comes, and a vaccine is 12 a year to 2 years away. So until then, what happens?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's really cooperation. That one world. Gusto ko yun, we need to cooperate to produce that hope I mean, like something that we can cling on forward. The
Oh,
hope.
pero hindi naman sir yung cooperation na blind cooperation eh. Kasi ang nangyayari ngayon, what's so stressful is like when people voice out their opinions, di ba? Pag hindi nagustuhan yung opinion, wala eh, kontra ka eh. No, this is something, the truth hurts,
Yeah. Acceptance, like what you said.
Exactly, di ba?
Yeah.
Exactly. We have to be
Yeah.
open-minded. Pag hindi mo nagustuhan ng sinabi ng ibang tao, it does not necessarily mean nakaaway sila. Di ba?
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily mean I may not agree with you, whatever, di ba? Di ba? So,
Yeah.
that's okay. That's okay. But we have to be at that point wherein we should be rational enough to say, I didn't like what yung sinabi niya eh. Pero may
Mhm.
punto ata siya eh. Tingnan nga natin, di ba? I
Yeah.
mean like,
Yeah.
you saw the news today, di ba? Di
Mhm.
ba you saw the news? Shoot people, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mark. And it's this is your hour, and I do agree that it's our own, as you said, it's an opinion. And I always remember Coach Will. We
Yeah.
learn if we have an enlightened mind, if we have an open heart, diba? Let's
Yes.
not close our minds and our hearts to it. And I would say, Mark, we learned a lot listening to you right now, and all
Yeah.
about managing ourselves.
Yeah.
How about things about you mentioned about the kids, how they don't need to be managed because especially your teenager and your adult and all that, about being grateful and all. I want to go back when we first started this. Can you hear me, Coach Bill?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You can. Okay. When we first started this, that when you said the uncertainty of the times is actually what's giving us the fear, diba? The paranoia,
Mhm.
because everything is uncertain. But
Yeah.
you also mentioned about being hopeful, uncertain yet
Yeah.
hopeful. That these two shall
Beautiful. Yeah.
pass. That
Ganda.
there will be an end to this and all that. And what would be, because of that hopeful, that optimism that is there,
Mhm.
what
Mhm.
would be one lesson that you can impart to parents, to dads listening now, or to men like you, about this situation now in relation to being hopeful? What can they be hopeful for?
Well, in situations, Coach Vil and Ate Ling, no, in situation like this is a situation that is beyond our control, obviously. I know,
Yes, yes.
and the powerful thing that we can control is our own perspective. Everything else we cannot control, but the perspective that we choose is something that we can control. I live by the mantra that anything else that happens outside or anything else that people say, you cannot control that. What we can control is our reaction to what happened and what has been said.
The respond natin.
Exactly, di
Yeah.
ba? I think I
Yeah.
will go back to that, to that basic belief that
Mhm.
perspective is the most powerful thing that we can control. Although that's easier said than done with all of this uncertainties happening. Like what I said, I'm talking from my point of view. Okay, so this experience right now will forever change us, for better or for worse. I don't really know. Everything is up in the air. You have mental health, which is an obvious collateral damage. The other day, let me tell a short
Mhm.
story. The other day, we were having dinner, and my daughter, um, Andrea, she
Mhm.
starts she starts crying. She starts sobbing. Right? This really happened. I'm not making this up. And I'm like, it was sometime last week when this was just getting started, you know, and she was crying, and I said, "Why are you crying?" And she goes, "I miss school." She was crying because she missed school, and and I said, "Why should you cry? You miss school, don't you?" And I kind of got pissed at her for her crying, because for me it was so, you're crying because of school, you miss school, you miss your friends, when everybody is having a hard time out there, people are suffering. And I said that to her. Then I realized I shouldn't have done that, because that's
It
her
was
reality.
her
That's
perspective.
her
Mhm.
reality. I realized, I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. That's not the way to go." Diba? Um, I have my own reality. My reality is mine alone. Other people have their own issues, and I think we need to be considerate. We have to be more open-minded, more than ever. We have to be more understanding. So you have people on the streets demanding for accountability. but each of us have to contend with our own reality. More than ever, we need to listen more. We need to be more kinder, be more considerate in spite of the odds.
Yeah. Maganda yung ano
Thank you
ko,
for that,
yung ano, yung Sir Mark that
Coach
meron
Bill.
sariling reality yung bata and I really love that. Tapos ano, magbasa lang tayo, dami ng comments. So like mukhang ano like maraming nakaka-connect kay Sir Mark. So sabi dito, it's what you call an intellectual discourse. Ayan. Cooperation will be possible when parties understand the issues involved during this crisis. We have we have go talk and discuss and reach for common grounds. When we share arguments and perspectives, the goal is not to win
Mark?
but to understand better the issues at hand. It's a win-win situation. So yeah, yung kinoment sa atin. Ganyan. Thank you, Sir Mar. Ano like, sobrang connecting from the, kanina pa talaga yung humans are like habits and then the acceptance, the uncertainty, but we have hope. Like, sobrang connecting, nakaka-connect ako. And here's my last question, Sir Mark. Sinabi mo kanina sa first part is, what if tomorrow will not come, 'di ba? Like at least alam natin kung bukas hindi darating. So I really want to throw back that question to you, Sir Mark. What if tomorrow will not come for you? What would be ano yung may iwan mo right now?
Well, for one, if yun nga, sabi ko one of the fears is getting sick, you know.
Yeah.
Especially after this, immediately I need to run eh. I buy the groceries,
Mhm.
my wife, I have to say this, she's coming down. She does the
Hi.
cooking, diba? She does the cooking, she sacrifices. We do our sacrifices. Um,
Yes.
so if it doesn't come, if tomorrow doesn't come, although like what I said, I know it's a rhetorical question. I hope it comes, but if it doesn't, um, I'm in a good place. I think it's very important for all of us to have a good support system.
Well, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's why
Lucky,
collaboration is
I mean,
important, eh,
it's
di ba?
important, lucky for us to have that.
Yeah.
Exactly. I cannot speak for the others, okay? Since the question is
But
being
Yeah.
this is
thrown at
your
me.
R, so
Yeah, that's
Oh,
it's
your.
okay.
oh,
Oh.
so that's a very good question. I have three brothers who are very supportive, very close to them.
Mhm.
My wife has two sisters who are also very supportive. More than ever, we're in touch with each other, and if and when that's a reality, that's actually a reality check. That kind of question. It's a curveball, if I may say so.
Mhm.
You know, pero I'm at peace kasi may support eh,
Wow.
di ba? So I think that's what's important. And it all goes back to cooperation and hope. Di ba? May
Yeah.
cooperation eh.
Yeah. Ganda. Okay, Sir Mark, follow-up question ko din sa tanong, tomorrow will not come, yun yung sagot mo. My next question, what if tomorrow comes?
Mhm.
What are you becoming, Sir Mark Santos?
I've always prided myself, although it may not show all the time. you know, I've always been somebody who's been sensitive. Um, um, sa feelings ng mga tao. I have certain guiding principles, like for example, help whenever I can. Um, and I hope to continue on that. Kasi this is all what's happening right now is a lesson in itself. And this is a lesson that is for the first time in human history, all the countries in this world, in this planet, has one common enemy, one common interest, one common focus right now, and this is the pandemonium that we are all going through right now.
Yeah.
And ang nakikita ko is a more defined approach towards understanding people, towards progress. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be
Yeah.
easy. But the pain, the suffering that we're going through right now is an ultimate lesson for humanity, and which we can use, which
Yes.
we can use if we survive.
Mhm.
I
We
hope.
will.
I hope.
Yeah.
Hindi natin alam talaga eh. That's a part of it. And a part part of our approach should be, be ready for whatever happens eh. So, kasi the moment that we let our foot off the gas, that's the moment we became complacent.
Yes.
Diba?
Yeah.
We cannot afford to be complacent eh. Look at what's happening around us, diba? Important people are getting the
Virus.
virus. Kasi iniisip nila that they're immortal, walang mangyayari sa kanila, hindi naman siguro and all. And the paranoia can help to a certain degree, really. The paranoia can help, you know. It will keep us secure. It will keep us secure.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I can say. I hope I make sense.
Yeah. Ako,
I can
pa,
hear you,
la,
Coach Will.
yeah. Yeah. I
Okay.
Yeah. So like my last question, Sir Mark Santos, kindly share to us ano yung ideal picture mo after COVID-19? Like kunyari COVID-19 free na tayo ulit. Like what's your ideal picture?
Um, I haven't really thought of that. Kasi iniisip ko Coach Will on a day-to-day thing eh. That's my approach.
I
Kasi
see. Mhm.
um, the only moment that we can take care of, kasi di ba iniisip natin past, present, and future. I am at
Yes.
that point right now, Coach Will, wherein I try not to think about the past. I try not to think about the future because the only moment that we can do something about is the now.
Present.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, it's the now. The now becomes the future. So if we
Mhm.
take care of what we have right now, the future will
Yeah.
take care of itself.
Like, I see.
Actually, Mark, it also helps to lessen the anxiety if you think of of the present, of the now. It lessens the
Yeah,
anxiety thinking about what will happen in the future because you're in the now.
yun palaging favorite ko ngayon eh. Sabi, iniisip ko sa sarili ko, you know, be here now, be here. Man, I talk to myself and I will always tell myself, be here right now, be here, be here.
Mhm.
Kasi
Mhm. Mhm.
when you focus on your breathing, when you focus on right now, everything else disappears. Eh. The anxiety helps. It takes a lot of practice, but I've been doing it for the longest time. I am a very stressed person, you know. I you know I have certain things that I manage, and I had to come up with a system where I can manage myself. And this is for me is the most effective thing when I tell myself be here right now, because when you focus on the current situation, you're practically actually letting go of the past and the future. So I'm sorry, I cannot come up with a rosy picture of what's going to happen tomorrow. But I'm just being realistic. What I can
Yeah.
come up is an approach. And that approach is be here right now, take care of what's happening right now, then
Mhm.
tomorrow will be fine.
No, real. Thank you for sharing the approach. I mean, tulad ng sabi ko, this is your R and yeah, thank you for your honesty and really being bold with what like really it's your sharing about the approach. I really understand in here na it's really the now. 'Di ba? Maraming ganyan eh, may mga minsan kasi pag katulad ng sinabi ni Coach Ana, if you look so much in sa future like maybe start to be anxious or something na ganun. Yeah, and really thank you. Before natin i-end, basahin ko lang isang comment dito, isang mahaba, di ko alam yung name. So sabi niya dito, these are extraordinary times. And it's not surprising that people are anxious, like what you said. Some are able to cope well, but others, especially children, are vulnerable. We need to recognize the red flags. And as parents, we have to recognize that mental issues are real and that it can't be ignored. But fortunately, help is just around the corner. More importantly, we have to recognize that when we talk about mental issues, it is never about us, the parents, but it's always about the kids. And yes,
Yeah, I totally agree with I agree with that. But you know,
yeah, powerful.
mental issues are also issues of parents.
Yeah.
So especially right now, di ba?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? The other day, my mother is 87 years old. So I talked to her the other day and I asked her, sabi ko, Mama, during World War II, hindi ka ba natakot sa giyera? Sabi ng mama ko, hindi naman. Hindi ako natakot sa giyera. Sabi ko, Mama, how old were you then? Sabi niya, 10 years old. Sabi ko, oh, hindi ka natakot. Alam mo kung sino natakot? Sino? Yung tatay mo. Yung tatay mo. Kasi iniisip ng tatay mo, anong ipapakain sa inyo? Ano yung sunod na problema, kailan magbobomba, and so on and so forth. It's exactly the same thing right now. Diba? So yung mga anak natin, medyo kinakaution natin sila, protect natin sila. Tayo mga dads, yung mga moms, ang medyo na-stress tayo ngayon, ano? Grabe yung stress natin. no? So, like what I said, mental health, yung sinabi kanina ng mental health, I agree na para sa mga bata, but at the same time, tao din tayo,
Yes.
everybody, it's a concern for everyone.
Yeah. Yun. Kayo Coach Ana, like you wanna add something or like your final message with the Facebook Live, Coach Ana? Hello? Hello, hello. Hindi ata tayo naririnig ni Coach Ana right now. Okay, so habang nintay natin si Coach Ana, yun, gusto ko rin sabihin na narinig ko kanina pinag-usapan natin about the misinformation, the newsfeed, and I really want to share to all the viewers out there, of course, kay Sir Mark Red, that this video will be available sa Coach A Coaching Community to watch the replay. Coach A Coaching Community is a Facebook group, public Facebook group, and yung content niya is very timely with our current situation, from the anxiety, of course, we're talking about mental health. And at saka yung mga previous na interview natin, katulad sinabi niyo, nakasama niyo kayo na si DJ, pangalan ni si DJ. Kayo na
Jerby.
umaga, Jervy, yun. And sayang lang, mabagal yung internet, but we're going to reschedule. And yun, Sir Mark, maraming salamat. And as we end this live, this interview, are declaring grace, good health, healing, miracle, cure, and provision to everyone. So, Sir Mark, maraming salamat. Hintayin lang natin, narinig ko tayo ni Coach Ana. Kasi meron isang part, meron tayong gagawin na tinatawag nating love bomb boom kasi 'di ba wala physical distancing tayo ngayon, we don't do shake hands or fist bump or what, pero we can do na love bomb boom na tinatawag. So Sir Mark, gawin natin to, mag heart. Hello Sir Mark, yan, ha-heart tayo, then 1 2 sasabihin natin love bomb, gagawin natin siyang bomb, love bomb, and
bomb.
boom, boom papasabugin.
Okay.
Boom, okay. Isa pa. 1, 2, 3, go. Love, bomb, boom. Sir Mark,
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Now you can do your errands.
Powerful.
We learned a
Thank you.
lot.
Thank you po.
Thank you for
You're
sharing.
welcome. Bye-bye.